Hello, hello! You're listening to The Journey is the Destination.
Hello, today with you, Emma, Kristen and Camacho.
Yeah, we're very excited today to share with you this crazy conversation we had with our dear friend Carlos.
Yeah, this is one of the most incredible, crazy lives that I've ever heard about. Yes, and he's sharing with us so many incredible stories for entertainment purposes only.
Also, before we get into all adventures, we want to clear up just a couple of things. So, the first one is when we were recording, when we start speaking about squatter houses, our table fell on the floor. So I left it in just for fun.
Okay, so you will see that this podcast has a couple of edited things and names, and we did it just to protect all the individuals involved in this. Also, another disclaimer, I talk a little bit about Maori and Maori history here in the podcast, and this is a story that I heard. It may or may not be true, nobody knows. I don't know anything as well, so don't take it personally or don't take it as a truth. And as well, all the stories that are told in the podcast, they as well may or may not be true, so don't take anything too literally. But enjoy, because it's incredible.
Yeah, I wish you a beautiful, beautiful listen. So sit back, relax.
Fasten your seatbelt. Yeah, it's gonna be a different life than most of us live.
Yeah, so join us.
Get ready for the adventure.
See you on the other side.
Hello, Camacho.
Hello.
Welcome.
Right, okay.
Carlos, I'm so happy to have you here with us. Already talking for hours and hours. So
Doing a great intro, yeah.
Yeah, actually, I must tell you, I haven't told you before, but when I first thought about like people who I would like to see when we started talking about having a podcast of talking with people, I wrote down. Oh wait, actually I can show you.
Yeah, you can see here.
Interviews / talks with about the world and universe with interesting people. For example, Camacho Pili. You're the first person.
Nice.
Look at this book. It's written, so many pages are already written. Look at this, all this. And you are on this page. Because you weren't planned like before the beginning.
Yeah.
Well, I think you've initiative, I think it's such an amazing thing,
Yeah.
not to be sharing this with the people.
Yeah.
Invite the friends,
So yeah, just to begin, how would you introduce yourself? However long, however short, whatever you want to say, but who are you?
Who am I? Okay. I think I'm going to do it as in the Marae here, the Maori people, when they have an event and they introduce themselves, they don't speak about themselves, they speak about their ancestors. So where are they from and what are their parents? And then you
Nice.
can already have a big picture of
Amazing.
me. So I'm doing that.
Perfect, go with
Nice.
that.
So, my ancestors are from Vallecas. So Vallecas is a little town that was eaten by Madrid. It's very particular the feeling of patriotism that is there, which is intense patriotism, deep feelings, and at the same time everyone can be included in that patriotism. So the place represents something, but everyone can be part of that place. So that's super strong, super political. Many working people from the fields came from all the towns in Spain. So a lot of people from Andalusia, Castilla. So a lot of flamenco in the neighborhood. And then my mother is from the south, from Andalusia, from a town called Pozo Blanco. So quite it's not very small, but it's very traditional town. A lot of bulls fighting. So my mother used to love the bull fighting. And go there. And then my father is from this neighborhood from the beginning. And what else? So there's a river called Arroyo del Olivar, which is not anymore a river because the city have eaten completely everything. But when it rains a lot, you can still see the river. And it's called Arroyo del Olivar. So it means the river between the olive oil, olive trees. There is no anymore olive trees. Yeah, so I'm the result of that conflict between these two people, which represents tradition and culture and revolution, represents feminine and masculine, represents the city and the town. So will be nature and civilization. And I'm the result of the conflict too.
Nice. Well, great introduction. How was it living in a city like this?
Oh,
Have you seen it as a town?
amazing!
When you were born, it was already Madrid, or
Yeah,
slowly?
yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's linked by the underground, so you are in the middle of the city
Okay,
in
so
15 minutes.
So
Okay,
you
okay,
are
but
in the
still-
city,
I'm
actually.
in the city.
Okay.
Yes,
Mhm.
in the city, and also it's quite different because there is a lot of empty spaces between the buildings.
Mm.
Quite poor,
It's
Poor
like a poor
neighborhood?
neighborhood.
Yeah. so not that big buildings.
Yeah, yeah.
And has living in the city for me is fabulous.
Yeah.
Like so much action every time. Between the buildings, you can feel that you can hide yourself very good.
Mm.
I
So
love
you
that.
have this freedom of being inside the city. Yeah, that kind of. So for graffiti, it's very fun.
Nice.
Or many squatter houses in Madrid. So that for me makes a great city, Madrid. Lot of culture. Yeah, well, mainly the squatter houses.
Nice.
I think, like in every neighborhood in Madrid, there is at least one or a couple, no? And they're interconnected,
Mm.
but enough different between them. So you have like this, for example, the Red House, which is like Lenin, Stalinist, communist squatter house, okay? And it's like, okay, Mao Zedong in the door, really? And then you go to another, and it's a group of association of the parents of the children of the school that decide to run the school again and do activities, no political.
Nice.
Another one could be a very spiritual one, more with like people with doing yoga, music, or
So,
Right.
can you tell a description what is squatter houses for everyone that doesn't know what it is?
okay. So squatter house, it doesn't have to be a house. It can be a industrial building or whatever.
Mhm.
So it's a space that is closed. Yeah, it's closed, so nobody can use the space, and you decide to open it. So you go, you open it, and you squat it. So it means that you close the door behind you. And let's say you are the guardian of the place, and something happened there. Okay. Well, for example, there is this squatter house called The Feather. Was the first trans queer squatter house focusing gender, and that's what happened. They enter, and in the same day, a group of police with Nazis.
Whoa.
There is this company called Desocupa, which is a private company that people pay, and they go, they enter in the house, they like kick everyone from there. So something that happened. So I was participating in one called the Ingobernable, which means no govern, and there were 300 collectives in this squatter house.
300? What is
300 different collectives, yes.
Whoa.
Groups.
That's
So
a lot of people at the end.
it's thousands. It was super crazy. Now it's closed, but it has been for 3 years operate. And it's like the point is that because they closed a squatter house, but it's not physical anymore. The squatter house is that well organized that it's just jumping from buildings to buildings, and now everyone start to be one. All the squatter houses are becoming one. So that means that in one building we had for 3 years the whole creativity of the city and all the different political movements in one place. That was like 3 different groups of yoga, all the feminism, ecologism, anti-fascism, Extinction Rebellion, people who fix bicycles, artists, the hackers of Madrid, a big collective connected with another European squatter houses, a cinema, everything for free.
Wow.
So like, yeah, like group of theaters, all different kind of dance also. Amazing. Oh, amazing.
Sounds incredible.
And they did this case. It's like a whole net for the 8M, for example, the day of the women. They have this thing that they organize all the squatter houses in a way that all the male body, all the men that want to participate, they invite them to don't go to the protest, so you go to these squatter houses and you take care of the children of the women that want to go to the actions and they can't. So all the squatter houses are like, wow. For me that was super powerful. Because in total means like hundreds of children, no? And many people working there.
Yeah.
Or in the coronavirus. Oh, this is crazy. In the hackers group, they make this workshop of creating your own 3D machine.
3D, like a printer.
Yeah,
Wow.
the printer. So they bought all the little pieces, and the workshop was 1 month building the machine. And then they have this 3D printer machine for free for the whole city. So if you want, you go there and you can use it for free. And because they build it, this like everyone who is in the workshop can help to fix it. And there's more than one printer, so you can print the pieces that you need for the other. And then
That's genius.
they decide to create this net of 3D printers in the whole city. And then when the coronavirus started, guess who was creating the plastic pieces for the machines, the breathing machines in the hospitals?
No way.
All the net of the squatter houses with the 3D printers. So they were like making hundreds of pieces and sending it to the public hospitals
Wow.
for free. Just like the power of the people just...
That is incredible.
It's crazy.
No way.
So many things happen in these places.
And this is,
Nice.
in theory, all illegal. Or no?
Yeah, of course, yes. So that's the many people arrested, many people, places being closed all the time. But it's half of the cities are empty, no? So it's constantly there are more and more
yeah.
buildings and...
Of course. Crazy.
Yeah, also... Okay, in my neighborhood, for example, there was one that the whole school was completely abandoned for years and years and years. And there were no windows, no electricity anymore. Destroyed, no, the building? And they rebuilt 4 different rooms inside. They closed the main door and they create this... bueno, it's like the... how you call it? Because it's very political, they always pull off the people, no? But so it's like the sports club of the people of Vallecas, no? So it's like there is for free every kind of martial arts, and they create their own gym inside. So it's mainly they link it with anti-fascism. So they have this idea that you cannot use violence for your own purpose, because then that is inside the fascist ideas. So they say that you can only use this power to defend your people, no? From this. If there is an ego that want to consume society, then you can defend yourself with the martial arts. So it's like a new moral code. Also many people doing like Tai Chi or whatever. So that is being mixed now with the Muay Thai, Krav Maga, and more violent martial arts. It's cool. Seen many people that doesn't have any money, and they were able to like connect with the martial arts in these places, and then they have this bus where 1 time per year they travel all around Europe to the other anti-fascist gyms, and they have these night fights. So they have the whole 3 days of fights at night with the canyons of smoke and everything. See, like for the people who participate, it's like a dream becomes reality, you know. And maybe there is people that in my street, my neighbors, they never went to the beach in their lives, for example, because they don't have any money or like. So suddenly, that's the magic.
It sounds like incredible communities, making everything for free and working together. It is like a dream. Yeah, and under that, it's crazy. I think when you have this strong communal purpose, in this case they put the political ideas or whatever, but it's mainly that you have a common purpose. Then the power of each individual creates things super crazy, you know, like... Because you support each other.
Because there is fear of open a space, for example, a public space, no? It's like... you're jumping over a delicate part of the law. You have to be very empowered to do that, no?
Sure.
Raquel and me, we were the yoga teachers in in this anti-fascist squatter house, because we saw that was very good intentions and political ideas, but they were losing the spirituality a bit. So we decided to put the meditation and the yoga in the...
Nice.
So much fun, oh my god. You can see like yoga in my neighborhood. Many people, when they hear the word yoga, it's like they think like about a guru trying to steal your money, you know, like nobody do it, nobody do yoga.
The traditional town.
So suddenly like we had all the group of neighbors, all the women that were between 40-50, they start to come to the squatter house.
Oh my god.
So we created we make circles of people that in another way they were never been in a building. So all the anti-fascist hooligans and then all the like the neighbors. Oh god.
And as I know, you've also been in squatter houses in other countries, in Australia and I don't know where.
Oh god, in Australia. Oh my god. That's another in Melbourne. I was living in a squatter house too, but there, oh yeah, these people.
I don't know if this is good or bad.
Oh, no, both. But joder, in Australia, I was traveling with 2 friends in a van, no, 3 in a van, for 8 months. Let's say, I don't know how it is. And in winter in Melbourne it's super cold in the van. So my friend, one of these friends is very special person that doesn't care at all about what the others think about him. It's a free soul. So he saw the squatters flag in one building and he decided, okay, I'm going there straight away for a hot shower. And then we discovered this whole group called Homeless Persons Union, that they have this mission, or they used to. I don't know if they are still alive. I mean, working. But they were opening houses for people who is in the streets. So we arrived to Melbourne. There is this thing that the government bought half of, like 2 or 3 streets to build a highway. But they don't have money to do it. So the houses get abandoned and closed for 10 years. And then this group decides, okay, let's start to open houses and we live with homeless people, or people without house, and we live together. So they have like, they were homeless, and they were open it, and then they start to help the others, no?
Yeah.
Nice.
So, mainly was made by these Aboriginal people, who were saying, because private property is a concept of colonization that you are bringing, we don't recognize that. This is land of everyone, not our land. This is land of everyone, and everyone who needs it has the right to use it. So start to open houses that we don't recognize private property of it. It's not the government of New Zealand. It's not the own of any private entity, and we use it. Boom. So we had like a street with maybe 10 squatter houses. We were a lot there. And a church. We have a church. Well, no, we have. Some people, one family was living in the church.
In the church?
Yes. Yeah, crazy. And in my house, so the first house we visit and we had a shower was the office. And they have a list with all the empty houses, all the information of legal stuff, and they give you the lock also, and the tools to change the lock, and after they help you to connect electricity or to put the water or everything.
Nice.
Wow.
And then in our house, where it was the most crazy house. God. we went in the next step, so we were saying, if it's not private property, we don't have the authority to say who is living in this house and who is not. So, inside the code of the house, the number one thing is that the door is open to everyone who needs it. It means any person who crosses that door is already in his or her house. And we have to accept that. Doesn't matter how is this person. So, that means numbers of people changing a lot, and big conflicts and challenges. Wow. And a lot of fun. That's the thing. See, a lot. Wow. So you have a lot of circus people recycling food together all the time from the bins. So you had infinite quantity of food, no private clothes, so all the clothes were of everyone.
All the clothes were of everyone.
You have a big,
Nice.
so many funky, strange clothes. We were in that mode of costumes, no? Just using costumes each day. We had a jacuzzi in the house. That was the smoking room. The garden, and every week we were doing actions in Melbourne. The people that you are living with and your neighbors are under the same consciousness about private property and how the system works, and not just that, you went through action opening a house. That means that everyone is ready to don't care about that system and just do the action. So we were doing actions every week in the streets. Some people, like, I got so much inspiration from these people. They were like that confident of always like putting this bicycle lock in the neck when it was necessary. So if the police come to the house, just somebody put that in the door. Or in a protest, if they are trying to just finish the protest that is in front of one building of one corporation, you always have this option of put a lock in your neck and put it yourself in the door. I never thought about it. So my friends were doing that like, as always there's this tool, no? So you have that in the back, you give the key to one friend. Where Silan was a good friend, I was doing it. She went through the police, boom, running, and pop, locking herself. And then if the police start to touch you, they start to scream a lot, like if they were hurting your neck. And then they got that scared that they don't have authority anymore. They just are scared people that they don't know what to do. You know? Like,
But they lock themselves to something?
yes, to the bars of the door, no? She's like, just stay there maybe for 1 hour. You know that you're gonna be in a not comfortable situation for a bit.
Wow.
And then, so then we did the action. Bueno, the most incredible action. They organized this protestival in the desert. In front, we call it the lizard bite again, and was in front of where they put the nuclear rubbish in the ground in the desert.
Oh.
And it's Aboriginal land also. Bueno, everyone is Aboriginal land, that's the thing. But anyways, like they were polluting the underground water, it's super hardcore.
Shit.
So we organized this, everyone from all the houses, we traveled to Darwin, then somebody was hosting us, all of us in a squatter house.
How many were there? Like, how?
Many people, we were so many people, hundreds, but many people with bands also. Yeah, and we organized this festival that was music during the day, not during the night, electronic music or acoustic music, and during the day direct actions to the nuclear company. Amazing. We were helping as a nurse in the medical tent there. Wow. So I remember one action, we were all dressed as zombies going to the doors. So it was the zombie day. And it just so much fun, with these people, really. Everything was super creative and focused in enjoy 24 hours. One was the zombie day, another one was like a funeral, and we were all crying, dressed in black, with a tomb, and inside the tomb the speakers of the electronic music there. Corridors, crying there. Then we stopped in front of the security people in the fences in there. And then some people start to say the different names of where all the nuclear rubbish are, where are they digging the rubbish, and saying rest in peace, no, or whatever. This woman crying, and then everyone fall down as dead, and we paint it in the ground. So we paint all the roads in front the gates with the shapes of all the body with paint.
Whoa.
Super huge, eh? And what else? There were some concerts also to the security people and to the police there. So some people making rap in front of the police, and some people with trumpets, violins there playing. Wow. Another night that was the most intense. We were cutting all the roads to the place with bonfires, big bonfires, to block the trucks, and so that we can block it physically. So, wow, we were a super big camp of, it's like a festival of tents, no? And at night, everyone wake up and we do 3 different bonfires cutting the roads. And it's when the helicopters came, the police with the horses also. Fuck. So after we did the bonfire, and before the bonfire we start to do these human lines also, hugging each other, and then making music again. Making music, boom. Yeah, it was funny. So nobody was arrested in there. It was pretty safe.
Nice.
Because the year before, many people, like 30 people was arrested, and they used spray pepper in the people too.
Oh.
So I guess it depends on the politicians that are in the power. Depends on the party, sometimes they hate you a bit more, no?
So from all of this that you told us, now I really want to know, like, what is your perfect political system?
Ooh. No, I don't know. I think I changed the mind to... as we do in the squatter houses, to say, you say what you are not identified with, but you don't say what is your identity, so you allow more possibilities, no?
Nice.
So you know the direction, but I feel when I was saying in the past I am an anarchist, I was saying I am an anarchist. That's already limiting yourself so much, eh?
Oh, you're so right there.
And then some people, for example, have a perspective, no, of anarchists, so they already are classifying you.
Yeah, true.
You have a conversation and you are already the anarchist, no? So, But I would say, I feel it...
This was a super good answer. Like, you can leave it like this. I love it.
Yeah,
It's great.
But at
Great
the same time, I'm not saying in what direction I want to go, no?
Yeah.
So will be, no, I don't believe in private property. Speaking about what? Because then then people say I can take your laptop or I can take your... So will be about land. Not private property, about land. No monetary system. I think it's not working at all. And we don't need it. And non-violence, non-structural violence system. I don't believe in any kind of hierarchy in taking decisions. Doesn't matter. I can think that the opinion of this person and the way of doing the things is super nice, it's the best one. But no, I don't want to put you in any kind of hierarchy. Like, when we are already leaving someone to take the decisions, his history always goes super wrong. At one point, can just lose the perspective, no? So like, no.
True.
We have to take our own decisions. Which means no democracy. If you are voting for something, that's already like... Yeah, what about the people who vote the opposite? We are just ignoring that, no? So no democracy. Very clear.
Just to be clear.
Yes, Demócrata.
Somebody didn't hear.
Okay, also, for me, the topic of especism is very important. Politically, especism.
What's especism?
So I think very important to focus in the... I completely think that the belief that as human bodies, we are over another bodies in this ethical, moral hierarchy is completely wrong. We are completely equals to non-human bodies, and it's like... We cannot build a super hippie, permaculture, gender equal community where you are feeding a pig and then you kill it. It's like, what? So you are really thinking that you are going very deep in another branch of consciousness when you are still taking one member of your community, killing it between everyone and eating its body? Like, okay, we're still then in the beginning of the whole thing, like the root of violence inside us. Wow. At the same time, this year, for example, I've been focusing and speak with many hunters and with people who's meat eaters and really have strong moral convictions. I find it that personal and that... Because everything I'm saying now comes from my perspective of what I am, what food is, and what is my way to be in this life. But I realized that for another people, let's take away the topic of animals or not animals. Eat another bodies, and accept that I'm going to be eaten, then there's another truth inside that I start to perceive from another way. But it's completely in conflict with the political organizations, because it's like, then what we do about human rights ecological rights about the land, you know? It's like we need these codes in order to guide ourselves. Yeah, I feel a strong conflict inside me with that. I like the Hare Krishna people in that books. They have very interesting thoughts about what food is, how the cycle of food works. Yeah, they say that everything is food and that we are food. So they take apart the moral way of looking at it, maybe? I don't know.
How old are you, Kabacho?
Thank you so much.
How old? 28.
28.
28.
After all the stories, I'm like, how many years did you live to live all the stories?
So relative, eh? That thing about the experience and the age. I don't used to care much, and after I spoke with Yeti, he told to me this astrological thing that in 28, apparently is a super relevant episode in life. And he said to me his experience, and it's like, wow, okay, based on your experience is deep. I feel it also, like, in this year, all my schemes are falling completely. So the topic has been mainly squatter, no? Squatting.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of squat.
Yeah, but
God, I can link it to another squatting.
yeah, for sure, yeah.
Another squatting was in Switzerland.
Wow, okay.
And in Switzerland, we opened this, you know, petanque? The petanque?
No.
It's this sport, this game where they throw, like the balls here, that they throw a ball, a black ball. In France, they throw different metal balls. So when they get near to the white one, you are the winner of the. So we opened the petanque club, and we squat the petanque club. That had a new building. So this one was the old. And was like a wood house with a skate park. 2 meters from it, in front of a lake. Lloyd. So in this one was empty, it was nothing. Just the house, the toilet was there, and nothing. But we had electricity and one light.
Nice.
So we were in Emmaus in France. If you go to Emmaus at any point, to France, Emmaus is an essential thing for the travelers. I mean, also.
What is that?
Emmaus is a whole net. I think they're Christians, like behind the project. But so yeah, they have these big shops, which is a op shop basically. But it's a super cheap op shop, ridiculously cheap op shop, and they have like everything you need, like whole factories, big buildings.
Whoa.
And it's between that and the Red Cross in France, you can live almost with no money.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Completely. If you are in a style situation, the Red Cross give you blankets or whatever. But better to don't use the help that can be used for people.
Amazing. Okay, so we already went through everything that you did, but for me it's always interesting to ask people, especially everyone who is here, because we have the same story of having some formal bringing up, probably, or did you grow up in a squat, and then like going off and traveling. So did you go to school? How was your experience with school? Why did you choose to travel, and how did this, like, what's your opinion of both?
Okay.
I know you're a nurse, but more than that I don't. By education or by practice? Or
Well, I'm officially a nurse, but now I'm not working as a nurse at all. Just in Lunasa.
That's good.
So I studied 4 years in university
Oh, okay.
for being a nurse, and so during that time I already was traveling, going to in the summer. In the summer I was going to. I think because my father always has told me to travel a bit. He didn't do it, so I think it's something that he wanted me to do because he didn't.
Oh, that's a good thing. Good thing he didn't want you to be a lawyer or something.
Yeah, bueno.
Okay.
Okay.
Here we have it. So yeah, I went one summer. Cara, in the beginning I was traveling just for a few months in summer, looking at traveling as something important to get knowledge. It gives you knowledge.
Yeah, I always had the same. Learn when you travel.
And then when I went to Ethiopia, it took the other side, which is, okay, we need to travel to give, no? So if you know you have something nice to offer, you can travel to another place and offer it there. Boom. So I went as a nurse to Ethiopia with that other mode. I'm not just... Also you get knowledge, but the intention of give. I think that's important, in the traveling. If not, you go inside this eternal role of only looking for inspiration or for a teacher. You are always looking for a teacher, and I see that many teachers, which will be people with knowledge, doesn't want to take the role of teacher. So you are in front of a super interesting person, you have something to say, but this person will be only open to you to teach you if you teach this person also. So you recognize this both direction relationship. So when you go with this idea of give, no, what you have, that changes the relationship with the...
Well, I understand that. I feel like since, I don't know, a few months ago, I've been in the mode of receiving, learning all my life since now, and now I'm in a mode of giving and teaching. But it took my life until now to come in the mode of giving and teaching. I never was able to accept this role before, but now I feel like I have something to give, and now I feel like I know enough, and life was treating me so good, life was teaching me so much, and now I can treat people good and teach them so much. So before I would also not be able or be ready to teach.
It's also this idea of only when you know enough you can teach.
Yeah.
Or like teaching is another level of knowing something, or really learning about the essence of things.
Saying that, come one thought, which is, the child is a teacher without know that he's a teacher.
True.
So also we can be speaking about teaching. We can be already teaching.
But that's the point you were making now. Of we're teaching, we're all contributing to building something together. Like whatever we do is a learning for someone.
Yes.
Then it's our getting the ability to see through this, what is the teaching, what are the people, anything they do teaching me.
Yeah, it's true, because anyone can teach you something if you're open for it, and also you can teach whoever if they're open for it. But it's just this idea in our head that we're not able to teach, or we're not able to learn from these people. But yeah, I do believe that just every interaction is something that you can learn from.
And nature is a big teacher.
Nature. Oh yeah.
How crazy is how the forest teach you many things in another special, with another language, no? Another. Did you have any teaching, any experience with the forest recently, or in the last year that has been?
On the North Island, on the North Island in the old forests. It was just something else, because you're basically in a forest with old trees, very old, and carrying all the stories of the land, because I feel like New Zealand is like younger than those trees, so they've seen it, everything. I had a lot of this through nature recognition of time, like how time is sped up, like it used to take a long time, now everything is changing like this, like the whole physical world, the landscapes, and driving through New Zealand is a bit depressing, because you can see the bare land, the fields for animals to be on. It's kind of harsh, but it's nice to see the forest going back north where everything is green.
Wow.
And the real like rainforest, it was incredible.
Yeah. This is what I was telling before about the Waikaremoana forest. That's one of the forests in North Island. And they have trees that are more than 1,000 years old. It's crazy. The energy.
I was in New Zealand 1,000 years ago. Oh my god.
With the giant eagles and moas.
Imagine the biggest eagles in the world flying around. The eagles that were eating children. You're sure? They were.
Wow.
But were they Maori at that time already here?
No,
Yeah.
not at all. Maori came 800 years ago. This was
So
pre-Maori.
they were not eating children.
No, not yet. Not at that point. Where
Bueno, maybe children of another
yeah, of pre-Maori.
Yeah.
Maori Ori. Children from Maori Ori. They were.
Lemurians.
Lemuria, yeah.
It was. You know how they said that they were people here before Maori, and they were called Maori Ori, and they had red hair and white skin, and some think they're descendants from Vikings, because they think that Vikings were the first one who found New Zealand, and then Maori came and Maori eat them, yeah, like this, and then Maori are officially the first people who discovered New Zealand, but we're not allowed to talk about it, discuss about it, or even research it, because if it turns out that Maori are not the first people who owned New Zealand, then the England did not get New Zealand from them, so England doesn't own New Zealand. Kind of, it's an interest who is actually the owner of this land here, and because of that, nobody's allowed to research this topic.
Delicate.
Delicate, yeah.
I think it's good. It's healthy to put the information out, no? Then it's
It is definitely.
it's like it brings again the topic of it's land of no one. It's not your land or my land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
Land of no one.
But the first time I heard about these people that had long red hair and white skin, and they were very tall, I also said, "Oh, that sounds like Lemurian," because they were very tall. Lemurian, very tall, white skin, but they didn't have hair. They had long, more like dreadlocks, kind of, but they were skin dreadlocks. They're not like they're different kind of hair than we have today.
Avatar?
Yeah, more like Avatar. They're like Avatar with the red Avatar skin here.
Wow.
So it could be Lemurians as well. Nobody knows, It's just these are guesses.
I remember I have a friend called Jaime. I don't know where is he now. And he was our Tereo teacher in the church. And he used to tell us some stories in our house. So he was visiting us one per week or something and telling us different myths or stories. And I remember he saying that what for you are just fairy tales or religious stuff that they tell, for me is history. This is my version of history. And then he told us about this underwater civilization. I don't remember the name, but he told that Maori people killed this other civilization that was living under the water, and that they teach them the designs of the tattoos. They teach them the cosmic concepts they have and everything. So they have this relationship where the people under the water was visiting them from time to time, giving knowledge. And I don't remember if they were giving back something. But the point is that because they were getting that much knowledge, some Maori people really wanted to go to the source of knowledge. So visit them in their civilization. And they did it during the day. So I don't remember what they did, but the light hit them, the light of the day, and they died because of that. That's what he told me.
Oh, I never heard this. But this is all Maori history? Like what, Maori religion?
Maybe it's the version that Jaime have in his tribe. Maybe there is some difference between the tribes. And it's a myth that not everyone shares.
That's so interesting. Wow. I always had this such an incredible mystical feeling, like super weird, super like mystical, but scary at once. But I so wanna know. This is such a. It awakens something in me. All this stuff. I wanna know more. It's great.
The other day, one friend was speaking about the Anunnaki a bit.
What?
You know Anunnaki, the civilization that creates Sumerian culture and. Bueno, the Anunnaki are in the Sumerian legends, in the books. Anunnaki is another civilization that creates human beings, mixing a creature, an animal that was already in the earth, and making a clone with their own DNA. So they create humans. That's what the Sumerians say. And then we were for thousands of years just extracting gold for them. and our mind was blocked mentally. So that means that we couldn't use half of our powers, and we couldn't feel ourselves as individuals. So we're like completely like pets of these people. And in one point, there was this fight that the Bible describes. So it's this fight between angels and archangels with fire chariots in the sky. In the Sumerians, they go deeper in detail, and they say that this is a war between two civilizations, that were reptilians or Anunnaki. So then this friend went deeper and told me things that I didn't know. There's this theory about another planet that is spinning around the sun in a strange ellipse, which is huge. So it means that only gets inside our system, what we know as the system, every 5,000 years or something like that. And then each time they go near, they need to extract this gold for the next cycle, because their planet gets that cold that it's impossible to survive. So they need some metals, which is, gold, to keep the atmosphere warm and be able to live with their technology. And apparently, every cycle, people who is aware of it and is ready to know it and to perceive it, then they interact with these people, and some people leave the planet. So it's what Testigos de Jehová, the Jehovah believers, they speak about it. Many religions that some people can leave the planet from time to time.
But who are those? Reptilians live in this planet or no?
So in that point, I don't know much, to be honest.
That's interesting. I heard it for the first time. Nice.
Welcome to the secret sound. And no, the didgeridoo that you just heard is not the secret sound. Also, the one that you will hear after the secret sound is also not the one. But the one when I say, here we go, that is the one that we are looking for. If you know what it is, write to the group on Discord. Link in the description. Winners get beautiful prizes. Not included is the date of delivery. If you don't know what I'm saying, please consult your doctor or pharmacist. Here we go. This is the sound. Cool. So we came here from education. How was it for you?
Education.
From the forest.
Comparing
education.
to traveling.
Comparing to traveling.
Yeah, how much did you learn in school?
Whoa! Okay, if we consider school inside the class, I'm trying to put a number, 1%.
You can go to less.
No, compare the reading of learning and the teachings learned are so little, very little few. But I was not spending many time inside the class. So outside, in the university environment, I learned a lot.
Imagine now in Corona when everything but the knowledge is taken away. So they can only get the learning,
The
but
official knowledge.
Yeah, but not the experience.
No. Yeah, it's que we lose so much time, constantly. For me, the rule will be, if you are listening to a teacher, and you are not interested in what he's saying, you have the feeling that you are losing your time, then you are losing your time. Just leave, boom, nothing to do there. Imagine that you have a limited time, no? So if you're in a situation when you're keeping a relationship that is not giving you anything, because you don't feel connected, it's death. That is not to be alive. You are in, for sure, killing neurons.
I agree with you. This is right. This is completely right. You're killing neurons.
You need to switch off parts, no?
And for sure, you're not using your brain to think and to create new synapses and to find something amazing inside your head in that moment.
How was your university times?
Really good. Yeah. I had a lot of fun. I was a lot in class. Learning maybe not a lot, but listening to a lot because it was just so interesting. Like most of the class, I was just so into. But yeah, then as well, traveling a lot, as much as possible. Yeah, good time. Like I had a really good time. But comparing to when I'm living last year, of just living. I mean, it's a lot, but this is something else, you know.
No, I agree with you. It's just uni was great, even though I was not a lot at the uni. But the amount that I'm learning here every month, it's wow. I'm learning so much more than I did in 3 years of my uni. It's incredible. You cannot learn this in school. It's impossible to learn this in school. And still, like, I feel school is great in a way, but it's just not designed in a great way. Like school system is, again, as everything we talked before, designed in a way that destroys your brain and makes you just somebody who's gonna follow the crowd. Another brick in the wall.
Thinking in my freedom of movement, the way you speak, the way you think, the way you move, everything in university is super restricted, no? I guess each person has different ways of learning, no?
Yeah.
So some people being quiet, sitting down and listening is like, wow, they get all the knowledge, no? Boom. But I don't know, for me to be sit down in a chair.
Same.
Oh God, it's like I cannot be in that position just without move, you know, like.
I had completely the same. I realized my time limit is 1.5 hours, and after that I cannot sit and listen to a person anymore. My body starts shaking and I want to stand up and go. And it's always, on the classes it was always 1.5 hours, super good concentration, and after that. So I agree with you, it's not good for everyone to do that.
Well, also we create this roulette. Do you know the casino roulette?
Yeah? You made one?
We bought one, and then we put it in the library. And so like everyone that was not going to the classroom was going to the roulette, and we were like the
dealers,
the croupier.
Okay, so to continue, I really want to know, what do you believe in life? Like, what are your values in this life? What is sacred for you? What would you fight for?
Oof, my people, no? For me, bueno, I have many answers. I'm thinking, my neighborhood, my people, my friends. So for me, friends, family, lovers, like the people who represent my reality, is, I feel that in my super important. Like I imagine myself dying, protecting my people, or my mother, the earth, no? I feel it as my mother. I have a mother-son relationship, everything which is linked to that, no? Like I feel when I see, for example, like a company cutting trees or this thing in Kennedy Point, no? It's like, oh God, it's like, so painful because of that. Because I feel it as my mother, and if somebody does something to your mother, no? I mean, how you feel, no? If somebody is just you're with your mother in the street and somebody kick your mother, how will you feel? Wow, it's like you react quickly. Boom. It's something sort of the same, no? I have this topic present because we were in the reforestation projects, planting trees.
Wow.
And cutting trees.
Yeah, and then cutting trees, yes. And it's like, when it's okay, this tree is invasive, but this is a tree that is here for 20 years. Then we go in the individual relationship with the tree. I see it as more deeper. But mainly, also for example, when we build trucks. When we build a truck, doesn't matter if natives, if are weeds or whatever, he see this thing in the future that is gonna be access to everyone, thinking in the people. Yeah, but the fact of, in a place where it's only forest, cut the soil, so you see all the clay and everything, and cut the trees there to make the truck. I see it as cutting the skin of the mother. I feel very, very bad with it. So I just told last week that I'm not participating. I'm not participating in the new track. Don't feel comfortable with that. So then another thing that I feel important will be consequent. Be consequent with the other values. If my people is very important and if the planet is very important, okay. The third thing is be consequent with that, no? So link actions with the moral code.
So powerful, yeah. Because I see in the culture we're doing exactly the opposite. We say, oh yeah, we promote love and unity, and then we, sell something or take advantage of this, and then we act in a totally opposite way. Not caring for each other, destroying everything, and just like thinking of how we can get money, basically. So, super powerful what you say. This moral integrity, you do as you believe. If I watch you, I'm able to say what your values are, you know. I wish to live like this, that I act in accordance with my values. It's a powerful
It's a
way.
process, daily process, eh?
For sure.
Claro. Like for the traveler, for example, traveling with the van and burning petrol and at the same time this relationship with the mother is not healthy. We are not consequent with that. I am not consequent with that. I need to go to another style of traveling. But I'll come back. In the past I used to do more hitchhiking and bicycle. How do you feel about the traveling with the van that way?
Yeah, now when you're describing it this way, I'm just thinking it is a lot of pollution. And traveling with airplanes as well.
It's hard
Epic
to live
pollution.
without pollution.
But on the other way,
Yeah.
I don't know. I would not exchange my traveling in a van for not pollution, I must say, because I like it so much, but it's not good. I don't know where the middle ground is. Maybe to have an electric car, but even if you have an electric car, then still that battery, it's gonna when it's gonna stop being used, it's gonna go in the landfill, and it has super dangerous chemicals inside. It's not a nice thing for the nature, so even those cars are not nice. But for me it's amazing to move around. I love it, but I don't see a perfect solution here yet, let's say. It's a freedom.
Only a radical. There's only radical solutions. No, I'm thinking how also I'm traveling with my van. Like I'm thinking in the concept of traveler, no? What is a traveler? In the past, in more spiritual times, a traveler is somebody who is not attached to the material world. Because to be able to travel, you could not have all your things with you. So if you are traveling with few things, a book, you know, something to make fire. So like now we are travelers, but we are traveling with all things, you know.
With everything, yeah.
So it's kind of, we want the good thing of traveling without say goodbye to the attachment of living in a place and have a lot of material stuff. But it's like maybe travel in this pure way will redirect us to another deeper experience, no?
That's interesting thinking, yeah. But it's like finding a middle ground between both of the worlds. You combine everything together. But I see your point anyway.
Yeah. But still you're not at your home, so you feel it with the people, you know. Like being away from your home means not being with the people you already connected with them. But this is also the idea of letting go, you know.
You leave people behind.
Yeah, I mean, but we're always connected, you know. Just
Yeah.
on all levels. Okay, I'm interested to hear from you. So, the concept of love, what it is for you and how you invite it in your life and how you nourish it, basically, how you open or manage your relationships that love is in free flow. On top of that, also if you have what have your findings about relationships been? So sometimes you hear people, you know, who are living for a long time and then you happen to have a lot of relationships, be it romantic or just friendly or interactions, you know. And yeah, what are your biggest takeaways from that, like the knowledge you got from it?
Wow. I feel that's the question. Wow. Okay, so love. Let's say that there are two energies, no? From the unity before the cosmos, between chaos and the rest. This is a unity, boom. And then it divides in two energies. So, the way these two energies, or these two things interact, will be a sexual relationship. Is okay, for me, sexuality and love is the same. So, can be a love relationship with these two energies, or a sexual relationship, which will be give and receive. Will be express or listen to the expression of the other. Penetrate, be penetrated. Breathe in, breathe out. Chup. So there's these two energies. So if we look at the whole universe from that, it means that when I'm painting, I'm expressing in this love relationship with the universe, my love or my sexuality through painting, penetrating the universe. Creation, boom. And then, so between humans, that can be anything, no? Can be dancing. You can feel it, no? If you're dancing with someone, if you're singing with someone, all the time is a love story. So you are like receiving from the other, giving to the other, created together, giving to the universe, receiving together from the universe, and between yourselves, chup. So, yeah, with people, for me, this way of perceiving it is redirecting myself to a position where friends, everything becomes expression of love, everything in both directions, and then I'm realizing like, okay, I have few languages, few resources, in which one, because my experience is for me very easy to receive in this language or very easy to give in this language, but actually it's not static, so constantly we can expand to express love in another ways or to receive love in another ways. More I'm able to do that, more love I can receive from more things and more people, and more love I can give back to more. Then in one point when people speak about enlightenment will be recognize or remember that you are open to love, the love of the universe 100%. So I mean able to receive in every language, because you understand every language, you see the love behind, and also be able to adapt yourself and give it in many different ways, because you are consciousness of that, no? We live in an amazing world.
I love this, what you just said. It made me so warm. It's just, wow. You understand different languages, the love behind it. Wow.
So then I have different limitations, no? That I can perceive and that determine my relationship with people. So that comes from the relationship I have with my mother, with my father. That will program how I express love from the beginning to women, how I express love from the beginning to men, how I receive love from women, how I receive love from men. So checking that, claro, my father, how my father was expressing love to me? Through playing a lot. What means, for me, super easy to start to play with men, with male bodies. It's happened by itself. We enter in this playing mode super quickly. Well, it used to be, now it's becoming more liquid, because I recognize myself. Well, that has been till this year, let's say. Now it's changing everything. And with women, I used to have as the main language of love physical contact, through contact with body. That's the main ones. There are others, no?
I just learned so much about myself. No, I really did. Crazy. This, wow. Incredibly, if you look at it in this way that you just described. What was your main expression of love with each parent? Nice.
That also, we were one with the mother. And then the one that cut that relationship and saw that we're individuals is the father.
Why?
Because it happens really, like when you're a baby, you come from inside your mother. And the powerful thing is that mother and creation perceive each other as one thing. Like the relationship they have, the baby doesn't have ego. The baby we perceive ourselves in that times as our mother. Part of this body is me. There is no me. No me. So, if our mother smiles to us, we smile to our mother. If our mother is angry, we get angry. It's the same person. So it's the third person, somebody from the outside, which is the first time that we have ego. Because it's like something else interacting, which has not been involved. Well, also now depends on the family, claro. I'm speaking in general terms. Depends on the family. But,
yeah, of course.
But still,
every family is different. Yeah.
But in general, it's like.
And you're connected with a cord with your mother, so.
Also, I feel that's a very masculine energy, no? Dividing in itself, no? Dividing things. So yeah, if our father is very masculine, will be very clear that division for sure. For sure. Used to be the person that say, hey, this is your mother, you are this person. And at the same time, because the father has a love relationship with the, like mother and father have their own love relationship, in which one the son is not participating. You participate in another 3 love relationship, but in that 2 relationship you don't participate. You are not the lover. So that creates your ego, of course, and that's because the father is the third. Claro. So that's all my love relationships. Me, and now speaking about it, I'm discovering more things. But all my love relationships, oh god, I see it super clear. If I analyze them deep, wow. How many times I become the father, which is my father? How many times my lover becomes my mother? Different. Explanation.
No, but it's true. But this is what you said, like, what was the language you had with father and mother? Wow. That was so incredible for me in that moment when you said it, because I just realized what was my language with my parents, like how do I create relationships now with people? It's a way of thinking that I've never heard before, and it's, wow, so real, so, like, so deep.
And I feel every time I hear about a friend or someone that has a hard relationship with one father, mother, with both, for me it's that obvious that in the point you can heal part of that relationship will be the point where the other love relationships you have start to heal also. Because it's that link that automatically, it's automatic for me, has been.
Wow, yeah, amazing.
And also, from the Celestine prophecy, from this book, did you read it, right? So also this thing about the still energy and stuff. I try to put these two perspectives together.
You want to explain it?
Okay.
If you feel like it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Maybe I take a break if you want to explain it, Emma. Do you remember?
Yeah. So, Celestine prophecy describes that there are 4 different main types of the people, and 2 of them are kind of dominant, and that's
The
interrogator, and negotiator, something like this. One is interrogator, one is negotiator, and then you have 2 that are more, I don't know. The other 2 are aloof and poor me, like a victim mode, and they always interact with each other. So they always work in pairs. So one will create the other will create the one, and especially with a parents-children relationship, you can see this very much, because if you have interrogator for your parent, for example, then the parent will all the time interrogate the children, and in this way he's gonna steal energy from the children, and children will have only 2 options. They can become a victim, like, poor me, oh, I'm the victim of everyone, or they can grow up and also become interrogator, because they were taught in this way. So, or they go in the other extreme, or they become the same. And it's the same if you have, for example, a aloof parent. Aloof is never there because it's always a little bit away. Yeah, doesn't really care, doesn't really feel. Then the children will all the time wants to get interaction with this parent, for example. And because the parent is aloof, they will only have an option to be negotiator. So to try to negotiate something, to get the time, to get the energy from the parent. Or they will later also become aloof, because they will learn this from the parents. So this is a way that you can get the energy, because people then want you to get involved, and they will jump around you and do something just to, be with you. So kind of like this. But I don't really remember a lot now.
It's such a good exercise to look inside and try to find what of these roles we perform, no? What is our way to steal energy? Well, not to steal. What is our way to get energy from other people?
Yeah. Are you ready to slowly
wind down?
End?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. So just for the end, for the fun part, we have a few questions. A fast questions, so you can answer in 1 word or 1 sentence, but not a big philosophy, okay?
Okay.
Perfect. So the first one. Which advice would you give to yourself 5 years ago? If you meet yourself 5 years ago.
I'm trying to do a flashback to see where I was. I'm thinking that if I say something to myself 5 years ago, then that will change completely my path. And in a way that I don't know.
Okay, so you can think about it like this. So if you meet somebody who reminds you of who you were 5 years ago, what would you say to them that would make their life,
Easier,
yeah,
and more wonderful,
less complicated, whatever.
Years ago. Okay. Remember to breathe deeply, very often, and use that breath to ask yourself how you feel. Then, in order to that, decide what to do.
Nice. You know how many times we get this answer? Remember to breathe more often. That's a really main answer I think I get from people.
So interesting.
Nice one.
Okay.
Nice.
For you, what's the biggest skill to have in life?
Biggest skill to have in life. Okay, for me, I find almost every skill that's super amazing and incredible that I can only answer. It's not a skill, but the way exists, just to be in this life, existing, thinking, moving a bit, doesn't have to be much, is incredible. And the rest is as incredible as that. So I cannot choose one. It's whole existing.
Amazing.
Amazing answer. Yeah, good. Nice answer. Okay. So next one. What's the one thing you most disagree with when it comes to raising a children in our society, and what would you do differently?
Wow. Okay, for me the biggest thing I disagree is in classified some people as children and some people as non-children. I mean, okay, everything is messed up. From that point, it's like, okay. Then the relationship we have with these people that we put in that position is already not there. We cannot learn and teach, give and receive with them as we should. Yes, we create a grown relationship.
Oh.
So any system we build over that, I think is gonna be
System of authority and who is adult and who knows and who doesn't know.
Yeah.
It's all the same, yeah.
I think this is the most incredible answer that I've ever heard. I
Oh.
love it.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Aye, for the last again. What's your pleasure? What's your passion?
Pleasure and passion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so it happened the same that with the skills, with the skill thing.
Nice.
I feel that much pleasure doing that many things, and I feel that passionate with that many things. That again, everything I practice give me is in that moment becomes the more strong passion and source of pleasure. And I feel it will change, and it's changing. So it's,
Because you breathe and think what you want to do and then you do it.
Sure, the breathing helps that. Is when it happens more hardcore.
Nice.
Yeah.
You wanna say something more?
Ah, well, yes, 'cause many people is going to hear this. I love you, love you, people. The people who is listening. Oh God, I'm learning so much from this experience just because I know that it's gonna be people listening. That I think that puts all of you in a very important place for me, and I feel the love. Good. The love you give listening. Incredible. Thank you. I love you.
Thank you so much, Kamacha.
Ay, mamma mia.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Wow. I think I'm going to speak more. This is such a good practice.
Yeah.
To listen to yourself, how you are speaking, the tensions that comes.